402 texter says, I disagree with Josh's characterization of garbage time TD. That's more like 2023 Colorado at the end when it made no difference. Here, even after the onside kick miss, Nebraska had 2 timeouts, and with a 3-and-out would have gotten the ball with 30-ish seconds left to try for a field
that's right.
goal.
They did have timeouts.
That's fine. It was garbage time. I guess I'm trying to figure out a way to say it differently. It was late in the game.
Desperation time.
Where Michigan's going to play a certain way on defense. Nebraska is obviously trying, full go to get into the end zone. But I guess I'll just look at the other stuff then,
Well, while we're on the subject of decisions or things like that, I know there was a lot made of the going for it on the first drive instead of kicking the field goal on 4th and 2.
I don't have a strong take on it. I wish I did. I kind of like it. I understand why people want the field goal, though,
Here, let me give you a reason, in my opinion. Not that I was sitting up there in the press box pounding the table saying, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
But a reason why it might have been right to kick it. I get it. Analytics says it's good. And if you don't get it, then they're backed up at their own 3-yard line or whatever. But that first drive really set the tone for what was an interesting day. That was as good a drive as it was from a yardage standpoint.
Michigan was in the backfield.
That was wonky.
Yep, Dylan.
That felt like helter skelter. Dylan having to do a Patrick Mahomes impersonation by running around and then somehow getting himself turned right. And because when you run, your eyes are kind of bouncing a little bit, and to be able to find Lindenmeyer.
He had 2 throws on that drive that were. I rewatched it this morning. That he had to do a lot of work in the backfield just to even get the ball away.
And so there was a part of me that was, hey, they did move the ball, but
go for the field goal.
It might have been good to get the field goal there. Again, I'm like you. I don't really have a strong take whether or not that was right or wrong, but I think an argument to be made for they should have kicked it was. Yeah, but they got there thanks to Dylan having to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think in the end, where I've kind of landed is I wish that instead of saying, well, analytics said it, I wish he would have just said, I trust my team. Because ultimately, so much of this comes down to trusting your team. I made reference to it, but a couple months ago, I watched the new quarterback series on Netflix, and he preaches that. Dan Campbell preaches that stuff. We're going to go for it. We're going to be aggressive. He doesn't say, if the analytics tell us to go for it, he just says, we're going to do it. I'm fine with that.
Right. Even if technically it's right, ESPN will have the graphic tonight. ESPN Analytics says go for it. Even though the coach is right, I like the way Dan Campbell does it because it's something they do. It's something that's ingrained into them. And when people say, but the analytics, you'll get a lot of pushback. Right or wrong, you'll get pushback. Being, well, why are you trusting the computers? Trust your gut. Blah, blah, blah.
I just wish you would have said I trusted my team and I wanted to get a touchdown on the first drive. Because that was the other thing too. So you say what you did, and I think you're spot on. That drive, it was whoa! It took a lot of effort.
It was a crazy drive.
But so along those lines, you really didn't want all that great work to go for nothing.
Yeah.
And so that's an argument on either side. You don't want all that work and no points. But I also thought a field goal would have been a little deflating with how kind of not magical, but how nice that drive was, for Nebraska. Because it started with a 14-yard run from EJ. Whoa, they came to play.
Which sadly was the best run.
I know.
I'm with Michael. He said it was more the play call than it was the decision to go for it.
Yeah.
Wasn't a huge fan of the play call.
No.
Other thing.
But their red zone running issues continue.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is an issue. And so when I pull up, speaking of the analytics, here they are.
Not great, man.
Here they are. This is according to a Game on Paper. Anything that's in green is really good. Anything that's in purple is really bad. And passing the football, Nebraska's great. They're top 20 in everything from EPA to EPA per play to success rate. They're top 20 in everything. Against the pass, they're top 20 top 25 in everything.
Yeah.
According to the analytics. But then you look at the running side of the ledger, and running the football, they're kind of, success rate, they're okay. We're 42nd. But in terms of their expected points allowed or added, I always say allowed, expected points added, they're kind of middle of the pack.
And then against the run, they are
but against
bottom
the run
of the whole country.
Thus the giant red exclamation point.
Oh, is that editorialized there?
That's editorialized. That, by the way,
paper didn't put a giant
success rate, and success rate is basically staying on offense. It's staying ahead of the chains.
Success rate is on first down, you pick up 4 yards, so it's second and 6. On second down, it's getting to third and 3.
It's
and
staying
then
ahead of the chains.
Third and 3, or third
and on
or fourth
defense,
down,
success rate is keeping a team behind the chains or preventing them from being, ahead of the game. Nebraska's 134th.
And remember, they're now 136 teams.
And do you know who's ahead of them?
I don't.
UCLA.
Well, I was going to say like everybody, probably,
Pretty much.
because there's only 2 teams behind.
That's the run defense.
Yeah.
And that's the big exclamation point.
It certainly fits with the eye test. Ben says, "Why is it purple and not red?" Because that's what Game on Paper does. Ben.
Yeah, they do it. They do it purple.
Right, because red
way.
and green clash for us colorblind folks.
Kansas State sucks, right? You don't like Kansas State?
Boom, roasted.
Purple is bad.
Vikings don't suck though. Not yesterday.
No, that is true.
Mm-hmm. And Max says, "Man, it's always something. Every year, it's always something. Last year, special teams sucked. Offense was doo-doo. This year, now it's rush offense and rush defense. Put it all together for once, please."
You would like to.
Yeah.
You would like to.